Well, what do you do if DoorDash hasn't offered peak pay in months? You can stop driving. You can see if the algorithm, this is speculative, you can see if the algorithm is like, oh, this person stopped driving, let's try to entice them. And you'll get pop-ups on your phone that says, hey, if you drive now, peak pay is $3. And then you can say, boom, gotcha. There's some peak pay. You can go online. Because I've seen that sometimes when you go offline for a bit. Again, drive on different apps. Is someone else paying you more bonus pay? I say the same thing because these are the best practices. I mean, this is what works, in my opinion. Yeah, Maximus, I'm getting $2.50, $3 orders is so damn insulting. I have to decline like 10 lousy orders. Listen to this. Before a decent one pops up, DoorDash sucks now. Maximus and folks, if you're getting $2, $3, $4 orders, $5 I won't even move unless I am desperate. It's dead slow and it's like $5 for a mile and it says it's going to take 15 minutes. But I mean, my minimum for you has always been $7. Like I want you to get $7, maybe $6.25, but I'm with you because I'll always decline them. You should always, there's never a scenario where it really makes sense to take $2, $3, $4 orders. I don't care if it's a mile. It says it's going to take 15 minutes. Some will, but sometimes that quote's going to be off, then you're waiting. So what I would do is it's the best practices. It's signing up for every app in the niche. There's no reason. Again, when I met the guy this weekend who just drove for Uber Eats, I told him the same thing. Like, it's free. It's free. It costs you nothing. Sign up for all of the apps. There's no reason not to. There's no reason other than your nervousness as it's a new app. I don't know how to drive on that one. It's not hard. You'll get it after like a day or two. Sign up for all of the apps because one of them is going to pay better than this. One of them is going to pay better than this. And I've said this before too. If it doesn't, if you are in like the worst case scenario and all of the orders in your marketplace are like this, you're not in a good marketplace for that niche. I am sorry. You cannot drive food delivery if all of the apps, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash are offering you garbage orders like that. Then your marketplace, it doesn't make sense. I will look at other niches. I will look at online niches, selling a product, course, or service. And I've said this over and over and over again because that's the best practices. Or you can ignore it. And if all the orders are like this and you keep taking it, I mean, you're going to make like $12, $15 an hour. You're going to be making $1 to like $1.10 per mile. You're cash flowing, but you're not making money. When you do the taxes, you're going to have a little bit of a profit for all that wear and tear, or you might show a loss when it comes to tax time. Meta Top Dasher that works full time and says it's well worth it. I myself multi-app and mainly focus on Uber Eats, so I guess it's up to the driver. Yeah, I did a video titled "This food delivery driver makes $3,500 a week." This is kind of true, JC. Is some marketplaces are different, and that driver showed me his Uber Eats app, and he did that by stacking bonuses on Uber Eats. I've said this so many times, folks. Uber Eats is great because you can stack bonuses. So he drove like whatever it was, like the lunch, took a small break before dinner started, and then drove that dinner rush. So he was crushing it because here in Pittsburgh, we have a good amount of surge, that per delivery bonus. But then his account was getting Quest bonuses. He was doing that. He got, whatever else, maybe some streak bonuses, I don't know. But, he stacked all these bonuses and he crushed it. Now, if I remember correctly in that video, I didn't ask him to break down your miles. The hours were on there. I should have asked him for a screenshot, but it was pretty quick. It's only sustainable insofar as they keep offering you all of that stuff, the surge, the Quest. But as long as they're offering you that stuff, you take advantage of it. If he's making $3,500 and if he is averaging at least $175 per mile, he's killing it. I wanted to do it. He's killing it. If you're in a marketplace that's doing that, milk it all day. That's what I did driving rideshare in 2016. How much do you make per week doing food delivery? It depends how much you drive. So look, if we do some math on this. So if you did $25 an hour, which is my goal for you, $25 an hour times 20 hours, $500 a week. Okay. Double it for full-time work, $1,000 a week if you're making $25 an hour. And then you can just adjust up and down. You know, if you are on fire, you're doing great. If you're a little bit slower. So $300 to $1,000, it really just depends. Best experience you've had on these apps. I like a few stories. I mean, the best stories are kind of when I'm making good money. Like I remember making 40 plus an hour on Shipt when I first started. I was making good money, but a crazy hectic app charging Lime scooters. I mean, the best stories that I've had from working, honestly, was in San Diego catching insane views. You know, I had a rule, if you're an OG, if you remember, if I had a delivery that ended near the beach, I always had to stop near the beach. I paused, I went offline, and I just walked right over and took a second and then came back and started working again. I remember like one that just pops up. I had a Shipt delivery, you know, grocery and stuff like that. And I was at the home knocking, ringing the doorbell. No one was coming. So I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? And at that moment, they pull in their driveway. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, hey, I have your Shipt delivery. And they said, we didn't place a Shipt delivery. What is that? We didn't place a Shipt delivery. And it's super awkward that you're at someone's front door on their property and technically you're not supposed to be there. They're like, what? And I'm like, oh, and this is, thank you for my customer service background, you know, versus getting all flustered. So I said, well, you know, this is a Shipt delivery. I showed them the app. I was like, is this not your address? And they said, yes. I was like, is your name not Tony or whatever it was? They're like, no, there's no Tony here. And I said, oh, okay, well, Shipt delivers groceries and stuff. It was one box it was a breakfast item. It was like sausages or like frozen bagels or something. There was a fake account placing an order for a random item, one item they just picked the address. And then they texted me, and ultimately they got my profile info because I gave it to them stupidly. It's funny. You should watch that video. Getting scammed.